Let's work. Yo, it's go time, showtime, never backing down time. One shot, yo, make it count, yo. Crunch time, shine time, make this moment my time. Get a grip, yo, ready, set, go. We bring the thunder. Bring the thunder. Let's work. Bring the thunder. Let's go. Bring the thunder. Let's work. Bring the thunder. Let's go. Yeah, it's my time, yo time. Step into the spotlight. Get lit, yo. Let yourself go. Our time, high time. Gotta go big time. This is it, yo. Never take no flight time. Grind time. Take it to the street time. Turn the roof off. Get loco. Game time.
Welcome guys, how you doing? Welcome to my channel. It's your boy and I'm back again. Look at that light sequence that's beautiful. I can watch that all day long. So guys, today we're the Audi RSQ8, which comes in this lovely Daytona grey, which goes along with the grille, which comes in the glossy honeycomb pattern. This car is beautiful. It's got its presence, and having compared this car to obviously the Lamborghini Urus, which I've seen in real life, I've got to say I prefer the Audi look. It's just, it doesn't shout like, look at me, I'm a Lambo, I'm Italian, and I've got this flair. It's just understated. You can drive this, and any person that doesn't know cars could never tell the difference between a normal Q8. And look at that beautiful light sequence again. So with this car, we're talking about almost 600 horsepower. I think 592 metric horsepower. And this power is transferred to the wheels using an 8-speed, I think it's a ZF or a torque converting gearbox, which is also mated to the Audi Quattro system, I think, which sends about 60% of the power to the rear wheels and 40 to the rest. But I believe also, like, with these big massive 23-inch wheels, which have got the red calipers, which have got 10 pistons, this doesn't have the carbon ceramics. I think I'd prefer the carbon ceramic brakes just because you can push the car on track if you want to. So this sits 5 people. It's not as big as the Q7, but it's based on the Q7 platform, which the Lamborghini Urus, the Porsche Cayenne are all based off, as well as the Bentayga as well, because they're all owned by VW. So moving on, this car has got obviously the full options. This is a Bolstering edition, which means you get the panoramic sliding roof, which comes out as well. You get the tinted windows as well. It's just the size of this thing, the sheer size and the presence. It looks sporty. It looks fast. I do love the wheels. So you've got the 2 contrasting colors on the wheels there. The diamond cut as well. I do love the spoiler on the back. And you've got the big, look at that spoiler there, which pops out as well. I think it doesn't do much in terms of downforce. It's just there for just aesthetics. But when you're looking at the car from the rear, it just looks menacing, doesn't it? When this thing is just behind you, just literally move out the way. Move to the slow lane, let it pass. I think 0 to 60 comes in under 4 seconds or thereabouts in that region. I think torque is probably well over 500 foot-pound of torque, which is a lot, to be fair. This thing weighs 2.2 tons as well. So you got the oval RS exhaust that we know, and then you've also got the blackened Audi badge as well. The boot itself, I'll probably say, is well over 550 litres. It's a little bit raised, but you can lower the car. This car is obviously riding on air suspension, which soaks up all the bumps. As you guys can see, you've also got some stuff in there which can help you repair the tires. You don't have a space saver, and yeah, it's just a lovely car. So this car is available in Lucas Premium. So we'll look at the engine. This is the engine bay of that V8 that makes that sound. Not really a fan of the engine bay. I think if I was to buy this brand new, I'd definitely spec this with carbon fiber on the engine bay. It just makes it look a little bit more, appealing, I suppose. But yeah, this is where the heart of the car is, and yeah, it's a beautiful car. Let's just see what's inside this car. The door feels very light. I do love these heavy doors, which come with the expensive hinges, which help you. I think it's got some sort of electric trickery, which helps you to open the door and it doesn't feel that heavy. The only thing I think I will criticize, this is a single glazed. I'd prefer a double glazed window, but nonetheless, you know, it is what it is. So you've got no frames at all on the doors. Then you've got the Alcantara lining and the glossy bits around the door handle as well. This car also has the ambient lighting. So with this being a wash brown, it means you get the all these bits as well. You get the Bang & Olufsen. You've got the RSQ8 illuminated there on the kick plate. So you've also got the electric controls for your chairs. You also have massaging seat. These are heated and cooled as well. I do have the Alcantara lining, I beg your pardon, on the BP. Like everywhere in the car, you've just got Alcantara. The carpets are very thick as well. Not like, you know, Rolls Royce thick, but, you know, still very thick as well. Then you've got this Alcantara material on the steering wheel as well. I've got to say, these chairs or the seats are massive. Really, really, really big. The only thing I'll criticize, I think, about the seats is the bolstering is not that wide. But when you look at the honeycomb pattern stitching on there, it's really beautiful as well. Then you've got the Alcantara as well on your gear knob. Then you've got Alcantara on your side as well. Then you've got Alcantara just behind your armrest as well. There's just Alcantara everywhere. And Alcantara usually is kept for spec. Right, so in essence, that is your beautiful, lovely steering wheel, which is all part of the Volkswagen group, as we know. So you've got your lovely virtual cockpit there. Then you've got the two screens. That's for your multimedia interface, and that's for your air control, as well as your seat controls and whatever the case is. So when you compare this interior, this is more of a grown, mature interior, and the quality is just second to none at the top. The only thing I'll say I'm not a fan of is this. That makes just that weird sound. But apart from that, everything else is just, you know, top notch. You've got Alcantara all over the car. You've got the headlining covered in Alcantara. You've got the side of the doors covered in Alcantara. You've got Alcantara there. You've got Alcantara on the gear knob as well, which I'm not sure about because I think you do sweat quite a lot. Then you've got Alcantara here as well. Now this car is obviously used, so the Alcantara does kind of, you know, just get shaved down. So I would say get a new Alcantara, steering wheel if you can. And also you've got the lovely pedals on the back as well. So looking at the steering wheel, it's exactly the same as the Lamborghini Urus. And also the software as well is almost the same. They've obviously changed things that say Audi to Lamborghini. And the interior is just more, as I say, a grown-up interior. It could be boring for some people, but to me, I think it's exciting. Now, I do love how you got the massive heads-up display over there. Then you've also got the lovely big mirrors as well. This car is a 5-seater, but it's a sport SUV. Now, it's a sport SUV in terms of the aesthetics, but when it comes to the driving, this doesn't drive that well. This is more of a straight speed monster. 0 to 60, I think, in less than 4 seconds. 600 horsepower from that V8 engine, that 4.0 V8 engine. It's got the 8-speed, I believe, torque converter gearbox. And you've got the beautiful, lovely Quattro, which is for all seasons. So this is a quick video. We'll just look at a few bits and bobs. Now, one thing I do love is how these chairs do stand out. They're very thick. They do bolster you in. I do love the quilting as well. It's of a lovely finish as well. And then you've also got the glove box that is massive. You've got obviously all your door bins that are massive as well. I do love how you've got these air vents here, which are integrated with that piece over there. The stitching as well. I think I prefer this in a red and black interior, just to have that contrast. But yeah, otherwise, apart from that, it's a beautiful car. So what we'll do is we'll get the car started and go from there. Yeah, let's get the car started. If you bear with me there. So I'll press the start button. You see, as soon as you do that, the car comes to life. So you got the RS button there, which is able to change your mode. So if you press that, it gives you more of a sporty change, which shows you like your rev count, your power and your torque as well. Give you a nice little rev. So obviously you've got your soft limiter, so you can press that will change it again. Press it again, that will change it again to the sporty. We'll just go outside so you guys can hear the car. Isn't that lovely? We'll just get back in here and so this car is available from Lucas Premium. It's on sale now. You're able to buy this car. They'll take care of you guys. Call Gary, he's a sales manager, he's a lovely guy. You've got all your information that you need, your horsepower, your torque. It tells you literally everything that you need to know. It's only got 16,000 miles, which is nothing for these cars. Lovely. We'll just turn that off. Hopefully you guys found that nice as I did as well. So that kind of brings me to the conclusion of the car, just in terms of things such as the speed, in terms of the performance. I think if I was to review a Lambo, it would probably take me quite a long time. Because I love an Audi and I'm an Audi fan, this feels familiar to my car. It's just a little bit higher and you know, it's just much bigger. But in terms of just, you know, the sitting position, you do sit very sporty. I had to adjust my steering wheel. I like a sporty position, so I've changed it. So what I tend to do is to measure the sportiness of the car is I tend to like look at the top level of the steering wheel and I compare that in correspondence to my nose. Now, if it's in correspondence with the center bridge of my nose, then that is the Porsche / Ferrari sitting position. So you've got a lovely sitting position, which I do love straight away. And I'm going to go in the back actually and just judge the space that's in the back. We'll just go from there. As I said before, the top screen is an infotainment system. It's got all your basic needs, such as your radio, media, telephone, navigation, phone apps, the car settings, and other different settings as well. So we're going to focus on your everyday settings, such as your radio. So when you press this, it's got a satisfying click. They call it the haptic feedback. So it clicks in response to your input. Then you press home, you go back, and you can go to media, but it needs you to connect to your phone as well. So it does have Android Auto as well as Apple CarPlay, which is always nice to have. And then you just go back. So telephone, same thing again. We'll go to the sat nav, navigation there. We'll click on that. That's your sat nav there. So remember, when you set your sat nav for whatever destination you're going to, it's going to also display, provided you go into the settings to choose the heads-up display, which will bring up all your directions, your speed, and all that good stuff onto the top there, so you're able to see where you're going as well. So in terms of the sat nav itself, we'll just have a little play with it. Feels a bit laggy, but I don't know if maybe it's just the connection in this area. So this car is a 2021. It does feel responsive, to be honest. I'm not going to just, bash it and say it's not responsive. So you just go home and just do that. So this is for your climate control, as I said. So that's your stop start over there. That's your hill descent. That's for your steering wheel. So this car is able to power a park itself, I believe. So when you get to a space, the car calculates how much space it's got, then it's able to park itself. Don't know what that's for. That's obviously the power, I think, for something. you press that. All right, that turns that on and turns it off basically. Then you've also got your other physical buttons over here. That's for your parking sensors as well as your camera. Sorry, you guys can't see that. That's for your parking sensors. Let me just go back a little bit. Yeah, so that's for your parking sensor and your camera. That says P. I'm not sure what it does. I'm not really sure what other buttons do. This is your power and also your volume knob button as well. And then you've also got your parking brake there and your auto. I think that's for your hill descent. It helps you when you're parking the car. You don't have to put this on. The car will put that on for you. And also when you drive off, you don't have to take the parking brake off. The car does it for you. And I think also when you're on a hill, it helps you to balance the car so the car doesn't roll back as well. So the car's got bang olufsen system, which is lovely. Now what I do love is the thickness of the pillars. You've got your thick A pillar there, your B pillar's thick. Don't let me get to the C pillar. The only thing which I would change is, I think, probably the seats. I'll change this maybe to a different color. I've seen like some from seeing through glass. He's got an Audi RS6 and he's got, I think, a black and tan interior. The tan does add a bit of flavor to the car, and I think I'll probably just go for a light interior as well, just because when it's very dark in here, it feels very dingy sometimes. And if you don't opt for the sunroof as well, which is tinted, mind, I know I'm indoors, then it just feels a little bit too dark as well. Now during the night time, you're able to change things such as your, if you go on settings here, you're able to change things such as your ambient lighting. So this does have, so if you go in display and brightness, so you can see that, you know, that's for your heads-up display. So you're able to change that, turn it on if you want to, but you have to turn on the ignition. But things like your ambient lighting, you're able to change that as well. Cockpit dimming, so you can see, you can set it to brighter. You can also change, we'll have like 1,000 colors in there to choose from. I love purple myself personally. Then you can obviously connect to different devices. I presume you can connect to more than one device. So this car sits in a very tough segment to satisfy. I think the top of the crop, as I say, I'll probably say is the Porsche Cayenne, the sport one. I think it's called the Porsche Cayenne GT. That, I think, it definitely sits at the top in terms of the driving, in terms of also the speed as well, just how agile it is. The Ferrari is obviously released a new car, which they don't want to call it a four-wheel drive, but it'll be interesting once, you know, generally start getting that car and they put it in the on the track and just see how the chassis, how the engine, how the gearbox, how everything responds. And I think that will probably, be a very hard car to follow. So for now, I think the Porsche Cayenne, the GT, that's probably the top of the crop. Then obviously you've got the BMW X6, that's pretty good as well. And you've obviously got your Lamborghini Urus. So it's a very tough market. You've obviously got your Land Rover Range Rover SVR, which is due to come out, but the previous one came out as well. So it's a very tough segment. So if you're trying to choose what to do or what car to buy in this segment, you just, I think, have to buy based on the needs, you know, of yourself personally. Look at your individual needs. You know, this has got way more power than you need for everyday driving. 600 horsepower is a lot. This car is more than 3 times faster than my car. Should I say more than 3 times powerful? So which is way too much power, you know, and especially it's a massive 2-ton vehicle. I'm sorry for my gimbal moving. So I think all in all, it's a nice car. If somebody gave it to me for free, I'll definitely get this car. I wouldn't say no, you know. So yeah, so we're just gonna go in the back and just have a look and see what the space is saying.